Hey, we're back again. It's been a while. We're back with Console Shock.
Hi, it's Stuart here. Trevor, why have you got a picture of the Xbox man as
Why?
your desktop
Why
desktop
haven't you got
background?
a picture? Why wouldn't you want a picture of Phil Spencer?
Oh my God, I don't know.
Have you got a picture of Reggie Fils-Aimé as your desktop?
Yes, yeah, no.
He's the picture on my heart,
Oh my God,
which is
right,
disturbing. But yeah, yeah, it's been a
Trevor.
while, isn't it? It's been a while.
I know we got to get better. We did try to do one a couple of weeks ago, then last week, but
Yeah,
we've just got.
it's literally 2 months actually. I had a little look at our previous shows, and it was 2 months. I can't believe it
Oh
was two
man.
months. Feels like I swear we did one in May, but apparently
Hmm.
not. To the day, it's 2 months. It's crazy.
Right, okay, we got to get better at it, and
We
you
will,
know, yeah,
starting from today.
starting from today, it's
Yeah.
my New Year's resolution.
Well, we're
Uh,
back on it now, aren't we? So that's a
well,
start.
exactly, exactly.
It's the
So,
intent is there.
E3, that's the big news.
Yeah, we've got loads of stuff, haven't we? So we probably just dive in, shouldn't we, and see what we can cover in
Yeah,
the
I
time
think
we've got.
we'll talk about E3 all the way through,
Yeah.
and then at the end, I think we should say, in a real fanboy way, who
Yes.
won E3?
Classic.
You know,
I've got my thoughts on that, but so yeah, that'd be interesting.
because it's not really, it's not a competition, is it? It's not like, oh, Sony won E3, Microsoft won E3, Nintendo,
Well,
Ubisoft.
they
No
outdo each
one
other. They try
you,
to.
exactly. With all these exclusive, they hold them back, and it's. But anyway, we'll come to at the end of
Yes.
the podcast of the show. We'll have our little bit of a fanboy, and we might not be
Fanboy
our own
Fest.
opinions, but
Yeah.
we'll say it with a little bit of tongue in cheek, and
Try to
we'll
be as
come up.
objective as if we can hold back the urges.
Exactly. Okay, so well, I guess we'll talk. Probably we'll do the order
Yeah.
as the E3 conferences came out, all the main ones. So if we talk about the Xbox first, and
Yeah, I
to
guess what we do is I'll say what I thought about it, and you can say what you thought, and then well, that'll be the best way, won't it? And then we kind of plow through them without boring people too
exactly.
much. Well, Microsoft then I thought it was very good.
Mm,
The two they've kind of the last year's was good as well from them. The obviously 2013 was a bit of a disaster because of all the stupid Xbox One restriction stuff that they came out with. But the last two have been very good,
mm.
and this one was very good. The biggest things for me were the backwards compatibility.
Yes.
I don't know if we're going to talk about it separately or if we could just quickly do it now.
Well, yeah, I think talk about it now, and
Yeah.
to me
Okay.
that was the bit of news that I thought straight away. I thought, wow, right,
Yeah.
okay, I need to get an Xbox One now because it's backwards compatible. You
Yeah,
know,
that was my favourite thing. I just thought it had been sort of talked about as not really being possible because of
mm,
the vastly different architectures that the 360 and the Xbox One will have based on the three. Sorry to get a bit technical for people that aren't into that stuff, but the 360 was PowerPC based. And if you remember the sort of Macs in the late 90s and early 2000s, they were sort of you had a G3 processors and G4s. What the 360 had was basically an evolution of those, as did the
mm,
PS3 as well, made by Motorola. Um, so, well, custom versions of them. The GameCube also was a PowerPC computer. Interesting enough, might be the first one, but yeah. So that's the ones now are x86 or Intel based. Although they're made by AMD, but they're x86. Just like your PC, most PC, well, all
mm,
PCs are now. They have Intel chips or AMD chips. They're exactly the same as the consoles. So
mm,
to get a Intel-based x86 CPU to pretend to be a PowerPC one is literally like apples and oranges. But
mm.
somehow they've done it, and it looks really good. You're actually adding functionality that wasn't there in the first place. Like you can stream your 360 game to Twitch through the
Mm.
Xbox One. You can take screenshots. You can record game DVR, which is so and it seems to work pretty well. Digital Foundry did a little breakdown of it, and there were some issues, but pretty good for what is basically a beta so far.
I mean, I saw initially. I said I was really excited about it, and then as they always say, the devil's in the detail. So when all the detail came out about
it's not quite perfect, yeah.
It's not quite perfect. And they showed the lineup of games, and in the front row they had a few Mass Effects and
Mass Effect was the biggest one.
Perfect Dark Zero, stuff like that. And I was, so it's not everything.
Yeah, there was a lot of Xbox Arcade.
There was a lot of Xbox
games.
Arcade games.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I thought, right, okay. And then I have seen a video where they're going, the frame rate's not quite right, and so I think that's what you were just talking about then. And fingers crossed, that will get.
There was some good stuff. Yeah, I mean, like the Eurogamer do a great little Digital Foundry. I love the Digital Foundry. A lot of people, I don't have time for things going that technical into things, but I really like that stuff. And they actually side by side analyze like Mass Effect and Perfect Dark Zero, and some aspects. It got rid of the screen tearing, which is a result of the graphics card rendering a frame not quickly enough for the screen to refresh. So you get half of the one frame before the next one together at the same time, and it causes a big tear across the screen. That happened a lot in Mass Effect, but the Xbox One emulator of the 360 actually used something called VSync to make sure the frames are synchronized. So it made it very smooth. They got rid of that. But apparently it was laggier, like hitting a button and then seeing what happens on the screen. It was a bit more of a lag, and it was a bit more slow down.
Okay,
so there were issues. It wasn't perfect. But this is a beta, so I wouldn't get too like, oh my god, it's rubbish, because it's very early days.
Fingers crossed that they'll get that sorted out. I mean,
it's not due out till like Christmas, is it? Anyway, like officially.
No.
And they'll probably plop another couple hundred games on top of that. Although supposedly any game will work right now. There was that thing that you probably touched upon when there was when talking about the details. There was that thing where they sort of said, "Oh, it's only we just have to let the publisher approve the game for emulation," which basically means if they've got a remastered version coming out, they're not going to approve it because they're like, "I don't want you to play the old one. I want you to spend money on the new one."
Well,
so that would be interesting.
I think what they might do also is maybe a few publishers are a little bit embarrassed about some of their earlier games where the review scores weren't that great, and for them, they'll be, they're not going to be interested in releasing these old games because they're not going to get any extra sales from them because where can you buy a new version of a game that came out in 2009? You can't.
Exactly. Yes. So those sort of games, I think, will be fine. I mean, I think you'll probably find most of the FIFAs will work because they're also not going to remaster them, are they, and release a box set of the old FIFAs because that's not the sort of game that you do that with. And probably like Call of Duty, I can't imagine there's going to be a big remastered box set of all. There's just way too many of them for them to do it. Although they might do the Modern Warfares together, but even so, I think they'll all work. Red Dead Redemption, I think they'll put on because I don't think they're going to do that. It's still fairly new. GTA 4. I think those sort of games. The only ones I think maybe Gears of War they might not allow, even though that's a Microsoft game. So I don't know if that means that they will or not. But because there's the remastered one coming out,
I think they'll do that top of the list.
I would think they would, but that's kind of an example of one way another publisher that had that game and then had a remastered one wouldn't allow it.
But I think from Microsoft's point of view, they're going to want to get all of their top titles on there.
It's in their interest, isn't it? Yeah.
As many as they can. It's like when you got the Xbox original backwards compatible. You knew straight away Halo 1, Halo 2, they worked. Project Gotham, they worked. All of the Xbox titles worked straight away. And
most of them, yeah. I mean, there's a few holes, yeah.
Cool. So there was a few, but they're important franchises. Work.
Yeah.
So, but from my point of view, the way I thought about it is, even before this announcement, I was always in the camp of, well, an Xbox One has got 8 gigabytes of RAM. The Xbox 360 only had 512 megabytes. So basically, it's got 16 times as much RAM So you can basically the way I thought it. Why can't they throw enough power at it to make it be able to run these old games?
It's interesting, isn't it? It's a common sort of misconception that this thing's way more powerful. It should be a piece of piss. But you're basically writing software that pretends to be every single chip inside a console which normally has a dedicated processor to do it. So you've got to get the software to pretend it's a dedicated processor, which takes a lot of processing power. So that's why the PS3 had to have bits of the PS2 inside it to be able to run PS2 games. Later, they did kind of make a software-only emulator, and then they actually abandoned it completely because it was never perfect. But also the PS2 had chips. Had the PS1 chip inside it to play PS1 games, and that was hardware emulation. And going back even to, you could go all the way back to the Mega Drive, that the Master System's CPU was actually the sound chip in the Mega Drive, which is why you could just get this power-based converter to let you plop Master System cartridges into your Mega Drive, and it'll run them flawlessly because the Master System was actually inside the Mega Drive. Which is crazy when you think about it. But yeah, that's what makes it difficult. And you got even more layers of difficultness when you've got CPUs that are triple core, which the 360's one was. So, but they've done it, and it's pretty amazing how they managed to do it. It's quite an engineering sort of feat. And yeah, I was like, there was the thing that made me go wow the most, because I basically thought it would never happen. But for people like me and you that don't get rid of our old games because we're collectors, it'll be great you could maybe put the 360 console away, but all of your 360 games can sit there on the shelf quite happily because you could still use them, which would be great.
Exactly. So to me, that's quite good. So I mean, I mean, earlier on today I was playing my 360, but I'll be honest. The other bit of news, there's always a few other bits from the Microsoft that really got me quite excited. Was the Rare Replay, and it's been announced it's going to come out hopefully in the summer at some point, and it's going to be $30. Yeah. So $30 probably equate to around
well, look at Amazon.
£30.
I actually looked at Amazon. It's 18 quid.
Is it 18?
I was genuinely surprised. I thought, like you said, it'll probably they just translate it like for like, didn't they? Which a lot of people like to do with that sort of thing. But I thought it'd be 30 quid, but no, it's 18 quid. So it's an absolute bargain for that. It really is.
There's quite a few good games on there, and they've got a lot of their early ones that they used to do. I wouldn't even want to say on the Spectrum, like stuff like.
Yeah, they have.
I can't remember, but they used to be called Ultimate Play the Game.
It's like Night Law, I think, is one of them.
Yeah.
I think, yeah. And some NES ones as well. They've got on there as well, which is great. But yeah, obviously, the big one is that they couldn't put in. It's GoldenEye, but that's understandable because obviously it's a James Bond game.
Yeah.
So that was never going to happen. But apart from that, Banjo-Kazooie, Conker's Bad Fur Day, Killer Instinct is in there. Obviously, I guess the other one's a Donkey Kong, but again, that's definitely not going to happen because that's a Nintendo franchise. But
exactly, yeah.
For the most part, everything is in there. Even well, it's funny because Perfect Dark Zero is in there, so I'm feeling that Rare might have actually developed the 360 emulator, and Microsoft were like, bloody hell, you got Perfect Dark working on the Xbox One. They're like, yeah. And I was like, would that work for any other games? Like, we haven't tried it.
Rare are basically Microsoft.
They are pretty much, yeah.
There's no
satellite sort of development team of Microsoft. Really.
Exactly, and they developed most of the games for the Kinect. Or a lot of the games,
Connectimals and all that,
and all of that type of stuff, which I've never played, don't know anything about them, but
no,
they did a lot of that. So I think they've had a lot of, they know the hardware of these systems inside out. But
they've gone a bit naff, unfortunately, since the Kinect. I think I can't remember the last really good game they did. What was that one that came out when the Xbox 360 was launched? Is it Cameo or something?
Cameo.
Yeah, I think that was the last good one they did. And those Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts were just terrible. I can't think of any others really. That's about it.
No. They did announce some sort of new title they're going to bring out. A big proper new Rare game.
Yeah, that's right.
I can't remember the title of it.
I mean, everyone wants Banjo-Kazooie, but I don't think they're ever going to make another one. But then there's the guys that used to work at Rare
Yeah,
have started the
what's it?
rotation.
Ukulele.
Ukulele,
Ukulele.
I'm really looking forward to it. I think it looks brilliant. That's about
Yeah.
the closest we're going to get to Banjo-Kazooie, and I'm all for that.
Well,
And even
it
if
does.
Rare made one, I don't think it'd be any good now, because I think the same people are there that were there in those days. So,
Yeah, the
yeah.
point is the people that are working on it and are now working on
Ukulele.
ukulele. So, sort of moving on.
Yes.
The other thing that really sort of grabbed me, and there was a lot of conversation in the shop actually at the weekend. Well, two or three more things actually regarding the Xbox is the Xbox One Elite controller, and I've put next to it on my show notes.
It's
That sounds
ridiculous, isn't it?
professional. Show notes.
Yeah. Stuff I
130
wrote in
quid.
Notepad.
It's on my phone. I've written
Yeah.
on it. Yeah, 130 quid. What?
Yeah, that's ridiculous, isn't it? I mean, when they said it was 100, I think it's $130, isn't it? So that's one of those that's one of those things, isn't it? Where they're like, oh, let's just put it directly the same in pounds, which is a crap. If it was
Yeah.
about 90 quid, I'll be like, it does look really awesome. I might get one because it works on PC as well. But 130, I'd rather get a bunch of games for that.
I think so, and for me, it's. I mean, the word elite in the title. It really is for someone that plays, Call of Duty 8 hours a day, who wants complete, control over the way the controller is
Yeah,
really.
I guess you'll get like if you those games that have those Twitch, as they call it, sort of controls, which is pretty fair. I think most games are like that. You have to press a button quickly in most
Yeah.
games, but I'm not convinced if it helps you really. Rebinding the keys is quite a cool feature, but and also having extra buttons behind the controller that you can remap, where you can remap whatever to. That's kind of cool, and the replaceable thumbsticks. But it's I think it's a good idea to release it. It's too expensive. Maybe they'll drop the price if it doesn't sell very well. I'd get one if it was under 100 quid. I would get one.
Do you know what? It's in my opinion. I don't know how much an Xbox One controller is new,
It's
but in my
40, isn't it, I
opinion,
think?
it should be the normal one that everyone buys at Christmas. Should be £40, and this one it should be
60 or
50.
70 or something.
Yeah, it should be 50 to 60.
The normal
Not
one is good as well. It's not a bad controller. It's better than the
no
360 controllers. It's not like you've got the crap kind of.
no
The difference
exactly.
isn't even as big as when you had like the 3-button Mega Drive controller, then they brought out the 6-button one. That was actually a big difference because some games kind of necessitated it, but it's nothing like that with this.
But no one, Trevor, no one was ever saying to me, or I've never heard in a forum or on the internet. God, the problem with the Xbox One is that controller just needs a few more buttons. It needs
No,
to be. No one's ever moaned to me. In fact, everyone's always said to me, "Oh, the Xbox One has got an awesome controller. It's really good."
it's got
And
really good. It's really good control of the Xbox One controller.
exactly, there's no problems with that. But anyway, talking about new Microsoft hardware, is what's this Microsoft HoloLens all about?
Just a gimmick, really. I think it looks
A,
very cool,
a
but
gimmick? You're the Xbox fanboy. A
well,
gimmick?
I'll
It's
try
going to
not
be
to be
the
a fanboy,
future.
but of
It's the
anything.
future, surely.
Yeah, oh, definitely. Yeah, it's the future of Minecraft, perhaps, but I can't really see how it would work for anything else, really. But Oculus Rift is straight away. You're like, that's clearly going to work because you got two big screens right in your face. That's 3D. Whereas
Mm,
this, when you put in funny little augmented reality stuff on your coffee table, if you've got one, if you even have one, I don't see how it's going to work. It kind of seems like it might just be another Kinect, but weirdly not as useful as an actual Kinect. Maybe if
yeah.
you want to put notes on your wall, but then you have to put these glasses on to be able to see them. You might as well just put an
Mm.
actual note on there. Um,
What was that
and
thing that
it's sort of,
3DS did? That
oh,
you could look through
the
the
AR
camera.
card thingies.
Yeah, and that had things popping up on your coffee table and
Yeah, I think
whatnot.
I used that once. Like I got the 3DS on launch day.
Hmm.
I got the AR cards. And I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. And then 5 minutes later, okay, that's all I can do with it. I'm going to play a real game now. So it just wore very thin. I could see how it would work with Minecraft, and I thought, okay, I don't know, maybe if they brought out like a HoloLens Metal Gear Solid, you could maybe use your living room as like a level where you'd have to hide behind your sofa and there'd be a guard on the other side patrolling, and you'd have to jump out and strangle him or something. I don't know how that would work without any hand sensor things. But then I thought, well, you have to have a bloody huge living room to be able to do anything like a level of Metal Gear Solid. But maybe if everybody had, I don't know, you could have like a board game or something, but then everybody would have to wear them.
I think, yeah,
So,
it would be great for you know, if you imagine.
I mean, they keep demoing Minecraft on it because they can't think of anything else to use it for.
I think you've hit the nail on the head there with a board game, and something like the old Eye of Judgment, or I don't know. You put the glasses on, and you watch the screen, and that's got the board on it, and then you pass the glasses round to each person, and then they look at the table, and they move their pieces round, and then a great big animation will happen, and it will look amazing to the one person who's got the HoloLens glasses on, and then I don't know.
I mean, they're trying to say you could use it in business as well, doing presentations, but surely everybody would need to wear it if you're doing some kind of minority report, waving your hands around in front of a thing that doesn't exist because it's only available to you if you're looking through it with a HoloLens on. Everybody's got to be like wearing them, so. Yeah, I don't really know. I hope it does well because it looks kind of cool. If they could find a killer app for it,
I think it does look good.
I think they should pursue it. I think they should continue to.
Oh yeah, no.
But at the moment, it's just like, apart from Minecraft, it doesn't seem to really be able to do anything.
But for me, it's got to go down the route of, this is just something you can get. It's not the Kinect. We're not going to shove it down your throat. Don't hate us for it. This is it. If you want to get it, you can do X, Y, and Z with it, and hopefully it'll be something that's used a little bit on the Xbox, a little bit on PCs, and a whole sort of, just another way of doing stuff, really, rather than being, I don't know.
You kind of feel like they've got to release it into the wild and just let people develop their own sort of stuff for it.
Exactly. Right, now we've not really talked about much games yet. So there's were two things with 4 in the title. So for Gears of War 4, they've now taken the of War out of the title, and it's now just called Gears 4.
The next one will just be called 5. There'll be nothing. And the one for that will just be nothing. It won't have a title.
Well, do you know for the game called 5, the theme song is going to be Slam Dunk the Funk?
By 5.
By 5.
They reform for it.
Exactly. Oh, no, that was a bad joke.
Great. Yeah.
Anyway.
I'm not into Gears of War particularly. I do like third-person shooters, but it's just kind of, it's kind of the bits in Uncharted that you have to get through to get to a decent story bit, but constantly. I
love Gears. I thought
it's all right.
It's all right. Gears of War 1, 2, and 3. Judgment was a pile of shit. My language.
So obviously, you're the person to talk to about it, because I don't really have anything to say about it. But I like the fact that the remaster one's coming out on PC. But I don't know if that means the other ones will. But yeah. Well, you're going to get it then, I take it.
I'm going to get it. I'm not an Xbox One owner, but I think by the time Gears 4 comes out,
you're going to have another Xbox,
not this Christmas,
the old telly.
Next Christmas, I will probably have an Xbox One.
Yeah.
And so I will pick it up. Really looking forward to playing that. So I think, Fallout 4, and you can have mods on it now.
So far only on the PlayStation, I think.
No, Xbox.
They said all round, yeah.
I thought it was some sort of Xbox exclusive thing there. No,
I can't remember. Was it part of the Microsoft presentation? God, that's terrible. I really should know this.
It was definitely part of the Microsoft presentation.
Yeah. I mean, I really like Bethesda games. I really like Skyrim. And Fallout's kind of just like all the Fallout games are basically the sci-fi versions of the Elder Scrolls, essentially.
Exactly.
But they're also equally good on their own right, because they're, it's that strong. Three was very good. I probably preferred the Elder Scrolls a little bit. But yeah, I'll probably get it. I'll probably wait until it's cheap though. I'm not one to rush out. And also because I probably would actually get it when it came out, but Fallout I can wait for a little bit till it sort of hits that 8-9 months. So to get for tenner or so, not it ends up in Playnation, and then we'll go get it.
It'll end up there before 8-9 months. Don't worry about that.
I think essentially, basically, Microsoft had all the exclusives. So you got your Fallout, you got the Xbox backwards compatibility. You now got Rise of the Tomb Raider. You got Forza 6. So you've already had two Forzas, and there's not even been one Gran Turismo on PS4. Probably won't be for another.
I'll be honest with you. I think they're bringing out Forzas a little bit too quickly.
Well, the fifth one, a lot of people were a bit annoyed about. I mean, I liked it.
It didn't have much to it though. Apparently.
It was, yeah. That's the thing, wasn't it? They kind of rushed it a bit, I think, just so they could have a Forza out with the 4 was actually better. If you go back to 4, that's actually better than 5. Graphically, it isn't, but if you're into those games are basically car collecting games, aren't they? That's what they are now.
Yeah.
There's two kinds of racing game now, isn't there? There's basically your car collecting games, which is Gran Turismo and Forza. And then you've got your sort of open world Burnout / Forza Horizon /
Need for Speed.
Need for Speed. They're all basically the same. So you've got those. There's kind of two camps now, and you've got Project Cars. Well, that's kind of a car collecting game, a bit, isn't it? A little bit. With
Project Cars, it's odd.
It's got a really good career mode, which is better than Forza's and Gran Turismo's.
It's got a great career mode, but you have all the cars straight away. You can do whatever cup you want straight away.
Yeah, and you literally if you do the career mode, you start off in practically go-karts, and you work your way up to actual proper cars.
Well, no, actually, you can start in supercars.
You can, but
if you want, but you
want to be hardcore.
Right, you can start with karts, and then at the end of the season, they'll say, "Oh, well done! We've got an offer for touring cars." Or
you keep getting this spam after every race saying, random person wants you to join their team, which is good though, because it's almost like FIFA, like career mode in a way.
Exactly.
But anyway, that's been announced as well.
I'm dying to talk about. We're not talking about FIFA's been announced.
Well, yeah, that was a bit rubbish, though, wasn't it?
No,
it was just Pele.
Oh, did you hear there's going to be a new Madden this year? Did you hear about that?
Oh, no way, yeah.
Yeah, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Oh, my God. Sony, Trevor.
The PlayStations.
Sony, PlayStation.
Yes. The Vita. We haven't got any exclusives. We're going to try and get some other games that everybody likes, but probably end up on other systems anyway. And there's a bit of fanboy there.
Fanboy. Oh, boo.
Oh, sorry, there is Uncharted 4.
Not even this year, it's next year. Great. It looks awesome.
Well, it was still obviously, I said what I thought about Microsoft. Sony was also good, but they didn't very good. They didn't really have any exclusives. There was that weird-ass Tomb Raider Uncharted type game where it was like a mecha woman with a bow and arrow and robotic dinosaurs. So I don't really know what that was about, but it just seems like another kind of third person. There's kind of really a golden age of third-person shooter adventure games at the moment.
With a cover mechanic.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they love the cover mechanic. It's like there should be a game called cover mechanic. That's just Gears of War, isn't it? So, and there was the chicken dog, Last Guardian.
Last Guardian.
About 1980 or something.
But what was it?
I love the memes that have come out of that, though, where it's just everyone is just thinking it's just basically like the press X to Jason from Heavy Rain. Because like that kid is shouting to his like chicken dog constantly the same two like phrases, and it's just like Jason in Heavy Rain. I thought it was quite funny. I'm not that impressed by it as well. Everyone kind of go, "Oh my god, it's so amazing," but yeah, I'm not sure about it. Ico and obviously Shadow of the Colossus were great. You still there, Stu?
Yeah, I was going to say.
Very quiet.
I was going to say, were they?
Were they great? That's a good point. They were all right. Everyone's like, "Oh my god, they're so amazing." They were all right.
They were good games. Of course they were, but I mean,
we talked about it before, but that sort of gen, I preferred GameCube. So I thought a lot of the games on there's a ton of games that are on the GameCube that were better than those two. But anyway, that's probably just gonna people unsubscribing like right now because of that. You can buy both at Playnation Games.
No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky.
You mean Elite Dangerous?
Is it the same type of game?
That's what it is. I don't know why people aren't making that connection. It looks very cool. It looks really cool. I mean, the concept is amazing, but no one's really. There's 3 games now that are this sort of game. All of a sudden, there was none for years, and now we've got Elite. It was also the original, and we talked about this as well. I keep saying we talk about stuff. We always talk about stuff. But yeah, on the Amiga, my favourite game after Sensible Soccer was Frontier Elite 2. And now we've got Elite 4, aka Elite Dangerous. And now we've got there was Star Citizen, which is being funded or has been funded or something on Kickstarter, which is basically the same thing. And now we've got No Man's Sky, which basically seems like more of an arcade version of Elite Dangerous, where there's not as many controls. But
so what do you have to do? Is it just there's 1,000,001 planets, you can land on them, and then
if you're into space trading games, which is what I think this is, but a watered down, more arcadey version of them.
Yeah,
it's like Elite Dangerous, which I love, by the way, mainly because it's a sequel to Elite 2 on the Amiga.
So do you play Elite Dangerous?
Yes. Yeah, I've got it on PC. It's coming out on Xbox as well, and supposedly PS4. Don't know how it's going to work on a console, but yeah, it's well, for me it's great. I think of it as just super boring. You're like, what the hell? I want to blow some crap up, or it's awesome. It's just because it's awesome. But basically, you have your ship. You have a set amount of credits that you start off with, and you just have to go out and make your way in the universe, either by trading stuff and being fairly nice to everybody. You could be a taxi driver kind of dude, just ferry people from star system to star system. You could be a pirate and take hunt other ships and steal their cargo and then go and sell that cargo. You could be a bounty hunter where you find contracts on, because there's like an internet on all the space stations that you go to. There's like an internet thing you go on where you find contracts and you go and hunt people down and get money. There's a load of different things you can do. You can join the Navy or like kind of a Starfleet kind of thing and go on missions and all that stuff. You do all this stuff. So that's basically what I think No Man's Sky will have, but it looks like it's a bit more watered down and less complex, because it is a bit unforgiving, Elite Dangerous. You have to really, if you're already partial to Elite from the older games, which I already was, so I kind of had a bit more enthusiasm to stick to it. You might struggle a bit and get annoyed and drop it completely. I think No Man's Sky won't have that. I think it'll be a lot more open. It'll just be like hit X to move forward.
So is everyone is in the same environment? So I could be in there and
I think
on
so,
this
yeah.
No Man's Sky, and then there'd be other people flying around and you can communicate with them, and
yeah, I think so. And it's procedurally generated, and I think what that means is there's a
random generator.
Yeah, there's like a ton of assets of like bits of animals and bits of like planets, and the game engine cobbles together and glues together all these different bits to make a new sort of planet. You probably see the same set of legs, the same set of torso but with a different head and a different like set of ears on another planet. I'm thinking they'll kind of all look similar, but they'll be different because it will randomly jumble everything up for each planet you go to.
Exactly. I mean, it's
still cool. I'm not putting it down. That is still very cool.
For me, it's not really that exciting.
The concept looks wicked.
You know what? You know me. I like a good 6-hour-long cover-based shooter.
You like cover-based shooters,
yeah.
Don't you? From what you've been telling about Gears of War, you really like them.
Yeah, it's got to be between 6 and 7 hours long.
No more.
And the men must be muscly.
Linear as hell. You're literally just going down some corridors. You can't, you're not going left or right.
No, I have to go
straight down that. Clear the area. Cut scene. Clear the next area. Cut.
I like the idea. With a game, I like it to appear like it's an open world game, but actually you're just walking down corridors.
I actually like, yeah, that's basically Call of Duty. Like the last few Call of Duties, it's like shoot some people, press X to shake hands with someone, follow behind this person talking about stuff, press X to demonstrate something, and it's like, I want to actually control this stuff. I don't want to just press X, but you know, that's what they're like now.
Anyway,
oh my god, it's so cool! Look, I'm not controlling anything, but it looks awesome. Yeah,
right,
games.
Trevor, what should we talk about? I think the two biggest bits of news from the
Shenmue
Sony
3.
conference. Well, I was going to say Shenmue 3 or Final Fantasy 7. What do you think it was?
Well, for me, I think it's obvious what I'm going to say, isn't it? How many times we talked about Shenmue already?
Shem Bloody Mew.
So I'm all over Shenmue. Ironically, I didn't donate to the Kickstarter because, well, it was kind of finished before it begun, really. And I'm not clear on. There's a lot of thing that's been springing up now that people are like, "Hang on a minute, why do you need £2 million when you've got Sony?" I don't really get it. But yeah,
to me. Okay, they've gone to Kickstarter, but everyone's going, well, hang on, why are you giving them money? You know, you're not giving them money for the game because
initially it was like £2 million, like the Shenmue cost $40 million.
Well, exactly. You can't make a game of the size of Shenmue open world for $2 million. But my point is, if you pay $29. Okay, which equates to about £20, you get a downloadable copy of the game. Okay, so that's why if you want to go, well,
it's actually,
it's a pre-order. That's exactly what it is. So if they don't go ahead and do it, well, actually, they have got the hit total, so you will be obliged to take that money.
The stretch goal, one of the stretch goals has to be. I mean, I haven't actually read them, so you can correct me if you have. But surely they've got to make like a HD remaster of the first two, because most people would never have. The people that are into Shenmue are like, "What? Do you actually like it?" I can't remember if you said. I think you said you didn't.
I don't like Shenmue.
Yeah, there's a very small niche of Sega
extremely tedious.
Yeah, it's a very small niche of Sega fanboys, I'm included, of people that love the Dreamcast and have very strong affection for it. And Shenmue was like the game you think of. One of the main. Well, for me, it's the game I think of, but it's one of the many games that are in the top sort of 10 Dreamcast legendary games.
It's an absolute technical masterpiece.
A random a random person is going to rock into game, see Shenmue on the shelf, and think, "Oh, that's that obscure Japanese Dreamcast game from 2000." You know, they're not going to know any of this stuff. So it's a very small niche of people. Obviously, everybody on the internet kind of goes mental, but that's not because everybody on the internet has got mental. It's the channels you watch that tend to be people that are into this stuff, you know, and the Facebook people that you know that also into stuff. So yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll do well. I mean, I personally,
I've got to replay the first two again because it's been so long since I've finished.
Yeah, I'm not.
You won't, yeah. You'll continue to not play them.
I'm not. I think I might paint my spare room or something instead.
It's
but I am genuinely excited about.
You're telling me that
Shenmue 3.
You're telling me that, you know, Final Fantasy is more exciting than walking around your bedroom opening drawers. That is crazy.
It is. I say Final Fantasy is, but
some of the drawers you could take stuff out of. It was pretty amazing. That blew my mind. Can't keep them. You can just look at something and he'll put it back.
I'm going to say this, Trevor. Shush. I will get Shenmue 3. I am genuinely looking forward to it because of all the games like Grand Theft Auto and everything else that's come out since then. If they come out with the same pile of rubbish that Shenmue 1 and 2 were, that's going to be a complete disaster, in my opinion. And it wasn't quite fun enough for me and maybe engaging. I think it actually be a very good game if it's got the feel of sort of Grand Theft Auto as open world and all of that. I think it'd be really good personally. So I'm actually very positive about the new ones, but I didn't like the old ones.
Yeah, I love the old one, so I'm really looking forward to it. Especially because it ended on a cliffhanger, the second one, which is very annoying. So yeah, hopefully it'll finish the whole thing, and maybe it might even make more ones, but we'll see.
Okay, Final Fantasy VII, the remake.
Yeah, obviously everybody kind of went mental. I'm not a big Final Fantasy fan. I understand why people would go mental over it. I know they are also releasing the they're releasing a HD update of the original, aren't they? Not a remake, but just a. But that looks like it's just a PC version of Final Fantasy VII that you can get off Steam at the moment, and they're bringing out on PS4. A lot of people went mental over that as well. I'm like, mate, you can get that on PC for like £6 on Steam.
I mean, for me, I think Square Enix, in all honesty, this Final Fantasy VII, bloody, have they, have they drained every, yen out of that bloody game?
It's ridiculous. It's worse than Street Fighter 2, isn't it?
It's come out. It's come out on the PlayStation 1. Sold millions of copies, made them extremely profitable. You can buy it on your phone, you can buy it on your Vita, you can buy it on your PS3.
You've got all these spin-off games where
you've got all the spin-off
number games. 8 has their own
they've done films out of it. Oh my God, was it that good? And now they're doing a remake.
Yeah,
okay.
It will sell like crazy though.
It will sell like crazy, and in all honesty, I'll probably pick it up. But part of me, I'm a bit mixed about it because first off, I think, oh God, another remake. Oh God, they've done this a million times. But then the other half of me goes, well, actually, they haven't really remade it since a game that came out nearly 20 years ago.
Exactly.
18 years ago. So
cutscenes would just be upgraded a bit, and it's kind of
being actually in a whole complete new environment, and and it was an iconic game. It did have an iconic story. It has generated all this love from all these people about it. So,
well, I think to appeal to you, Stu, to appeal to you personally, they'd be like, right, we've readapted Final Fantasy VII into a cover-based shooter. You'd be like, oh my God, pre-order right now. Yeah. Well, what's then? You'd be like, what's the cover mechanic then? And they show you a demo of it, and you'd be like, right, that pre-order's in now. Here's my money.
That's it. It's less of an RPG, and you just walk around.
Just clear waves of enemies, cutscene.
Clear waves of enemies,
cutscene.
Throw grenades.
Can you get out of the way of one? Because you get a little indicator on your screen to show you that you've had one thrown at you.
Exactly. But if you get shot 3 or 4 times by a baddie, your screen goes a bit red.
It's realistic.
Don't worry. If you hide behind a wooden box, within 10 seconds, you'll be fine.
Yeah, but the mechanic is wooden things are destructible.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
It's the Last of Us level of cover-based realism we're talking about here.
So what else did Sony do?
Well, obviously, we talked about the Last Guardian thingy. There was Uncharted 4, which looks very good. There's this weird thing where they showed the trailer last year of Nathan Drake asleep in some mud, and that looked amazing. And then they showed another trailer a few weeks later. Was it Eurogame Expo or something? And then they downgraded the graphics, and everybody realised it, and they were like, "Oh no, we haven't. We've just tweaked it." But they seem to have upgraded them again.
Yeah,
Nathan Drake looks as good as he did in that sleeping in the mud thingy. So and the sequence looked very cool that they showed. It was classic Uncharted. Nathan Drake cracking jokes while nearly dying.
That's what I love.
That's what you want.
I think we've worn out Sony, so finally, let's go on to Nintendo.
This won't take long.
Okay, so Nintendo. The big news actually came out before E3 was Ryu from Street Fighter. The Street Fighter franchise.
The rubbish version of Ken, as I call him.
Yeah, has now joined Smash Brothers.
Yeah, I think it's funny, actually, because there's no Street Fighter game on the Wii U. The last one, I guess it was Super Street Fighter 4, wasn't it, on the 3DS? Which was very good, by the way. It was very, very good. But yeah, it's kind of weird. But yeah, it's cool. Yeah. The last person, the only character that they have announced ever that I was like, oh my God, that's awesome, was Sonic the Hedgehog. Was that?
Yeah, he's up there.
The first Wii one? That was the first Wii one, wasn't it?
For me, having Ryu on there, it's like, wow, that's going to be... But I think this is going to be an ongoing trend where the game is going to, within a couple of years, that game's going to have 80 odd characters because they're going to go, oh, every time we release a new character, which takes us about a week to program, we sell another 100,000 copies. Woo!
Every time we haven't got a big announcement, we have to find some kind of random fanboy character to announce.
Yeah, they'll bring out Ken, they'll bring out M.
And
Bison.
they'll mask our lack of everything else. Yeah.
And isn't they got a couple of Tekken characters in there as well coming out? Is that not
I
right?
can't remember. I've lost track of it now.
Okay. But, right, next, moving on.
So basically, the only good thing about the Nintendo one was obviously the Star Fox. I forgot what it's called.
Star Fox Zero.
Oh, Zero. Yeah. But what I liked about it was it's. I
can't believe they've already released the review score. Hey.
It looks good.
But do you know what? I'm like. It looks like a good game. I will buy it. You know, but. Doesn't look that good.
It's not a great thing, is it? I mean, just make a bloody sequel. You know, what is it with all these prequels and all that stuff? And I like the fact that they've got the whole transform your R-wing into a little walker thing. That was from Star Fox 2 on the SNES.
It's not a walker. Got released. You turn it into a chicken.
Or it looks like a chicken, or a chocobo.
Chocobo, yeah. You turn it into a chocobo. But I'll be honest with you, Trevor. The graphics. It looked like a good game. It all looks solid.
I think is it Platinum Games that are making it? Everybody loves.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Metal Gear Rising.
Yeah, that was.
They're making a Transformers game actually, which I'm really excited about. That was announced at E3. The Transformers Devastation. That I'm really looking forward to.
But no one will buy that because all the other Transformers games have been shit.
It's not but it's not Michael Bay. It's not the Michael Bay Transformers. It's actually retro 80s cartoon Transformers that we grew up with. That's actually the art style.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to. It though. It's good. It's like basically going to be another hack and slash, like kind of Metal Gear Rising kind of, without the serious sci-fi kind of bit. But yeah, anyway, So Nintendo,
Mario Maker.
Yeah, that was the best thing. That was actually the best thing. I would actually get that. That looks quite
do you know what? I think I'll do it. I don't think...
Make your own Mario levels.
Do you know what? I won't make a single level on it.
What you just... What is there built... Is there a game, though? Is it
there's no game.
It's literally just a paint program.
Yeah, but what...
Practically.
Yeah, basically. But when the game Little Big Planet came out years ago on the PlayStation, the best thing about Little Big Planet on the PlayStation was you can go and do everyone else's levels.
Cover-based shooter.
It was a cover-based shooter. It was a cover-based shooter. No, basically, Little Big Planet, you could go and play everyone else's levels, and that was what I enjoyed about it. So I think with Mario Maker, I think I'll get it, and I'll just play other people's levels. But I've put in the show notes YouTube, and I think again everyone's going to be, I don't want to put this on YouTube because I get a strike against my name from Nintendo, and I'll get this, and but it's one of those games where people will just make levels on there and show them off on YouTube, and it will get a real good following that will really benefit the game.
I think it literally lends itself to that, doesn't it?
It's something. Someone will put a level up there called the hardest level ever,
and it'll generate a big
and then you'll get millions of viewers. It'll get everyone be watching that, going, "Oh, can I do that?" And he'll have his username on there, and you can find him on the game. You can try to do his level, then someone will do his level, and he'll put that on. Oh my god!
The potential is huge. Yeah. It's funny with the Nintendo conference. It was basically it was just that Mario Maker and Star Fox, and the other games were just basically most of it was 3DS. To be honest,
yeah, there were a few.
Very little Wii U,
Animal Crossing. They
the Metroid game.
That Metroid, everyone hated that, didn't they?
Yeah, because it's not really a Metroid game, is it? It's a Metroid Prime something or other, but it's not actually Metroid. It's not a first-person shooter. I don't really know what it is really, but.
It is. It's all of it's called Metroid Prime Federations.
That's it.
And it's kind of 3-on-3, and your Federation soldiers, wherever they are, battling against each other in a big arena. again, it is a first-person shooter.
It is, right, yeah.
So
just a weird version.
You know, I thought, okay, yeah, that looks okay. Well, I won't buy it in a month of Sundays, but
I mean, Metroid Prime Echoes on the DS was great. It looked as good as like not literally was as good, but initially you'd play and I thought, wow, this is like identical to the GameCube Metroid Prime. It was a really good, apart from the controls being horrendous. But
whoa. The DS one was not identical to the game.
No, like I said, it wasn't literally, but initially you'd be like, wow, they've crammed like a pretty good
they put a lot
first
in
person.
there. But to me, it looked almost like it looked like a little bit of a mess of pixels, and
the controls were really irritating. Like to use like the screen to like aim, and it was just kind of ruined it a little bit. But yeah, that was more. I was more excited about that than I was about this one on 3DS.
Yeah.
But it was just I don't blame Nintendo. I'm not being I'm not laughing at them and thinking, oh, what a bunch of idiots, because I want them to do well. But it was just an awkward E3 because they knew that they've already announced another console. They can't. It's not anywhere near ready to show. So we all knew that they weren't going to have anything this year. It was going to be next year.
Yeah.
Next year they could potentially win E3 if they come out with an amazing console. They won't. They'll mess it up. But I'm still hoping they will. I really hope they will have a Super Nintendo 2. You know what I mean? Where it'll be powerful. It will kick the arse of the. It needs to basically be 4K capable. Well, I think we talked about it last time, didn't we? Like what they need to do, but yeah, make like a real dedicated.
It needs to be 4K. It needs to.
I mean, it can run games in 4K, not little upscale games. It is literally games running in 4K.
That's exactly what it needs. What it needs to be, right, is a box that goes underneath your TV that outputs in 4K. It needs to come with a controller.
Proper controller, yeah.
And the controller buttons need to be in the same position as the Xbox 360.
Exactly.
And then the point is, Microsoft or Sony aren't going to release another console for 3 or 4 years after that. So that one is going to be the most powerful console on
for
the
a
market
number of years.
For
potentially, like I think the Xbox One and the PS4 will probably last about as long as the last gen did. To be honest, I don't think there's no reason to think it'll be shorter. So if Nintendo do release a more powerful console, they'll be top in terms of power for 5-6 years potentially. So I think they should go for it, but they won't. What I think will happen is it will be something that will be probably about the same power as an Xbox One, but just with a Nintendo label on it, and it will have a gimmicky like gamepaddy, maybe a smaller gamepad. It'll still have a screen.
What they're gonna do is, I think all the rumors going around, it's gonna be some sort of twin system. So
handheld,
you can play. You can go out with your NX portable. And then you can play all the games, and then you can come back, and then you can play the games on the big screen.
Well, you know what? That'd be cool if it's some kind of weird like Nintendo laptop thing, but that's as powerful as like an Xbox One or a PS4. Probably more like an Xbox One because that's not quite as high up there. Some kind of laptop thing where you can play it on the go with a nice, decent sized screen, and it's exactly the same quality as when you plug it into the telly. That might be quite cool. But if they're not doing that, and it's just going to be a bog standard console, they've really got to go for it. But I just don't think they will, because the people who are in charge are just kind of too old fashioned and idiotic to really do anything about it.
Exactly. It's got to be a beast of a machine, and if they do have a gimmick, it's got to be make sure it's a bloody good one, and that makes us go, wow. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
It's going to be hard. I just can't. I don't think they're capable of doing that. Really, unfortunately. I mean, it saddens me because they're the only real video game company left out of the manufacturers. But so they didn't have a chance basically with this year's E3. It was never going to be a big one for them. But next year could be their downfall, or it could be a big great setup for a prosperous next few years, or it could be the end of them, as a console manufacturer. if they don't hit it on the head.
But I did get a little bit excited about all the new amiibos that are announced.
I bet you did.
I did. Oh wow, there's some new amiibos.
Because they're really
brilliant.
top. Rosalina, is it Rosalina from Donkey Kong?
I don't know. No idea.
I think that's top of the pile for me.
No idea. No idea.
Literally top of the pile. She was in the game.
But you don't even do anything on the bloody games now. You buy all these things.
Have you actually bought some? For real, have you bought some?
I've brought one to see how
Whatever,
it works.
Stu, whatever.
I brought
You've got a whole case full of them.
I brought Link, and I put that in. I've used that on Mario Kart, and it gives you a Link costume or something. Woo!
So it's literally just DLC, but with an action figure DLC. So at least you feel like you're buying something physical as opposed to just
okay. And then on Smash Brothers, you can use him as a sort of a character which sort of levels up, but you don't play as him. So, but the point is, there's so many coming out, and you look at some of them, and they go, "Oh yeah, this one doesn't work with anything except for this one game."
Yeah. So
oh man, okay,
right. It's just the craze. It's just part of the Skylanders craze. Just cashing in on it. Nintendo characters do lend themselves to like action figure-y kind of fanboy collector things. To be fair, but yeah, there's just they're just kind of a bit too. They just don't appeal to me at all. They're not supposed to, I don't think. So I shouldn't be surprised.
Well, I know plenty of grown men on groups on Facebook that seem to love and showing off their collections.
I think they're the only ones that buy them, to be honest.
Of amiibos, and there's nothing wrong if you like all these characters and you like collecting them.
But I think if you're a kid who are presumably the demographic they're aiming for, like an 8 or 9, well, if you're younger than that, I guess, and it's 6, 7-year-old, you're not really going to be that much of a Nintendo fan, are you? Because their day of being like, Mario being more recognised than Mickey Mouse, that was in the 90s when we were kids. They'll be all into Avengers and now and all that. So they'll be getting Disney Infinity. It'll be people at our age, the only people that can be bothered about Nintendo, in that nostalgic, I want to collect stuff that they make kind of way. And that's probably why they who they appeal to. But yeah.
Right. So this is the moment all of our listeners have been waiting for.
Yes. We're going to wrap it up now.
When is there going to be a new cover-based shooter? No, I'm only kidding. Who
next week?
Won?
Probably it's about the
exactly. Who won? E3.
Microsoft.
Sony.
Microsoft.
No, Sony. It was Sony.
I'll justify it.
Okay, go on then.
I'll justify.
Justify it in under 30 seconds.
The backwards compatibility and the exclusives. That's basically it. Sony don't have either of them. They've got the PlayStation now, but you have to pay £3 to stream a game. Whereas Microsoft have made it free to do the same thing, and it works better. So, and the exclusives. That's why. I think Microsoft won it. Sony were good. Not saying they were crap or anything, and they got completely blown away. But Microsoft just edged it, I think, with backwards compatibility and the exclusives.
Well, I think Sony won it because Final Fantasy VII and Shenmue, and they've now got DLC for Call of Duty. Before Microsoft.
I'll take it back. Yeah, I'll take it back. Sony have won now. You dropped the Call of Duty bomb.
That was the big news for me. So knowing that I can get the DLC, which I never buy.
You didn't even mention the Destiny DLC.
Well, that was all last year, wasn't it? That was.
Well, no, there's this new one, isn't it? They're charging £40 for.
Oh, they're not. Oh, that's ridiculous.
I don't know. I don't really get Destiny. It just seems like I don't really get it. But yeah, apparently there's a new like a bunch of missions or something, and it's like £40 to get it. It's not a sequel or a whole new game. It's £40 just for a bunch of extra things to do in Destiny, which is disgusting, really. But if you're a fanboy, I suppose you'll pay it. I hope no one does as a protest. But yeah, apparently that's exclusive to the PS4, I think. So yeah, if you love first-person shooters, PS4 apparently. Well, not counting Halo, which is probably the biggest one on console. But yeah,
I'm looking forward to Halo actually.
Yeah.
There's not enough cover-based mechanics in it though for me.
Or third-person stuff.
Or third-person? No, it's all first-person.
Yeah, you have to do stuff in between the waves of baddies. That's actually you have to control. That's not the
I
way
hate the
games are
fact that
going.
sometimes you have to get in the warthogs and you have to drive round, and that's
Oh, so
not,
much admin, isn't there?
that's just a bit annoying. And
Why can't you just have it where you get in the like Call of Duty, you get in the warthog and it controls it all for you. You just have to press X every now and then.
No, what you do is you just basically you're on the back of the car, which controls itself along a road, and then all you do is you control a machine gun on the back of this truck,
Yeah,
and
so
you
the
just
least
shoot a
exciting bit of the whole thing.
yeah,
Yeah,
and you basically you just shoot, you just keep your finger on there and just wave the gun left to right, not really shoot anything. But what's good about that is you complete the mission even
and
if you don't
you feel
fire a bullet,
powerful. Yeah,
or if you wave it left and right like a lunatic, you'll still complete the mission. So don't worry,
yeah,
you'll
and it'll
complete
very
the mission.
quickly and like the checkpoints are literally like every second.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, okay, guys. Thank you. Please like, share, and comment.
Subscribe. Tell
Subscribe.
people about it. Force
Tell
people to watch
people.
it. Go to
Yeah,
Playnation Games. Buy
yeah,
stuff. Just not the
exactly.
Destiny DLC. Well,
No,
buy it
don't
from
buy that.
Playnation Games.
Oh, well, I
Yeah,
haven't got it, but yeah, buy it.
don't buy that, but buy it.
No
Pre-order
problems.
Shenmue 3 from Playnation Games. They'll have
Yeah,
T-shirts that
support the
Stu will
Kickstarter.
wear. You, when it comes out, will do full cosplay of Rio,
No.
cover-based version.
Mhm.
Imagine if it was cover-based. Anyway, that's it for today. So
No
yeah,
problem.
we will be
Cheers, guys.
back. We'll be back soon. Yes, we're going to
So
make
back
it
soon,
definite this time.
not 2
Back
months.
soon, not 2 months. Right, guys. Cheers, everybody. I'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.